for you as we're going along. And if you have bigger questions or anything remaining, unanswered when we finished up, you got a feedback form. The URL is on your screen there. You can use that when we're finished to leave us bigger questions. We'll make sure we get answers for you. Sometimes a webinar like this brings up some good questions, and we want to make sure we get every answer that you need. So that's what we're going to do. Feedback form 2. We'll just ask when we're finished that you do some feedback there. It helps us improve these things over time. So appreciate your help with that too. Okay, so we're going to jump in. It's a short webinar, and we got a big topic. So what we're talking about today is the ways of reducing cash needed to own a home. And there's a couple of reasons to do this, but what I like to always say is the real estate market is open and you don't need cash. A lot of people don't believe that, but it's true. So reducing the cash needed. So there's two groups of people generally who pursue that goal. Sometimes there's folks who have a lot of assets and they just don't want to tie them up, because there's better things to do with their money. So if you're somebody like that, we're going to talk about ways that you can reduce money needed to own a home. And the other version is people who are renting and want to get out renting and own a home. Many first-time buyers or people who are renters would be, folks that would be like, if you can reduce the cash needed, it's a good thing. So we're going to talk about that. The thing is that when you rent, okay, the system is kind of working against you. And there's three things that don't go so well for you. One is you pay higher income taxes because you don't have the tax write-off of owning a home. So that's one thing that happens. Two is you're missing out on appreciation. And over time, this is really expensive. So basically a home that right now might sell for a certain dollar, right today, a year from now generally is going to be this much more. And unless you can save money at a pace that's faster than homes are going up in value, you sort of fall behind. The system's working against you there as a renter. And then number 3 is inflation. And usually there's some amount of inflation in the economy. And
powering on, mic off.
Eats up the cash flow that you have. So for a lot of folks who are renting, there's a lot of motivation to own homes, and then the challenge is, how to do that without needing a lot of cash. So we're going to talk about that. And today, in particular, looking at a couple of areas around that. So I want to say that on the feedback page, there's a workshop that goes into this topic in a lot more detail, and that's something that you can request when we're finished if you want to learn about this in more detail. But for today, we're going to look at a few of these topics. As you see on your screen, there are 6 main ways of reducing the cash needed to own a home, and today we're going to talk about 2 of them. One of them being creative cash sources. It's one of my favorite topics, creative cash sources. And the other being grants and down payment assistance programs. Both of these are great ways of reducing the cash needed. So let's talk a little bit about the grant and down payment assistance first. So grants and down payment assistance programs, which I'll just call DPA, are 2 things that a lot of folks will use. Many of these are for first-time buyers, but not all. There are some that are, it's not only for first-time buyers, there's some for anybody. And what I would say to characterize those overall is that the grants are usually things that are available for lower income levels. So if your household income is at or below the median income for the area where you live, that's how these programs become available. So they vary a lot by location, and that's a key thing in this topic, is that if you're somebody who wants to explore grants and down payment assistance programs, super important